Smooth 98.1. Here we are. It's gone past 6:30 on a Tuesday morning. It is, of course, more than time for Business Express. And I've got Rotus with me. Good morning.
Good morning, Shokoya. Good morning to all our listeners, viewers out there. Good to be with you all again on a Tuesday.
Yes, and we have got, we've got someone in from Nairametrics with us this morning. We've got Ajibola Akamo, who is, our guest and an investment analyst with Nairametrics. Ajibola, can you hear us? Hi, good morning, Ajibola.
Well, it's still connecting in a moment. Yeah, I'm sure you can. You'll hear us shortly.
All right. Hi, Ajibola. How are you? Good morning. You're on mute, kind sir. By the way, do remember that you can view us on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos, and you can join the conversation by leaving your comments up on the live stream. You can also join the conversation on Twitter, where we are at smooth981FM, and you can find Rotus at Rotancode, and you can find Nairametrics at Nairametrics, and also send your WhatsApp messages in to 0809 440 981. Ajibola, hello, how are you?
Hi, how you doing, everyone?
Good morning. Okay, so we've got a whole story with lots of episodes to cover today.
We do.
All right, so let's get into the saga of Seplat and ExxonMobil and Seplat.
Yeah, so they're back in February. Oh, Ajibola, do you want to give the background?
I mean, you can go ahead.
Okay, all right, cool. So back in February of this year, it was announced that Seplat Energy PLC would be acquiring majority shares of Mobil's upstream, I think it's Mobil Upstream Production Unlimited, a unit of ExxonMobil here in Nigeria. And it was a $1.2 billion deal with a contingency for an additional $300 million. And again, the share acquisition of those units, which is supposed to help Nigeria boost its oil production and so on and so forth. However, the regulator stepped in, the NNPC stepped in, and they blocked the deal. We've been going back and forth now for about 6 months or so since February. They said that the law, you have to go and get consent from the regulator. This person didn't get proper consent. It was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be ExxonMobil that approached the government to get consent. Anyway, yesterday we got a tweet from the federal government, Nigeria's Twitter account, saying that President Buhari, in his powers as minister of petroleum, has approved, or rather giving consent to the deal. And every major publication ran with it. Everyone's like, okay. Even Seplat even put out a press release stating, okay, we've got consent, only for the NUPRC, the Nigeria Upstream Regulatory Commission, to step in and say that no, deal hasn't come through. So I don't know what you make of all this latest development.
Well, in my own candid opinion, of course, Benga Kumalafe is the chairman of the NUPRC, and he said that, okay, based on the new laws, that they are the ones that would give consent to such transactions, and that the status quo remains the same, being that they've actually denied, Seplat from going ahead with the transaction. But at the same time, you have, President Muhammadu Buhari, who is also the Minister of Petroleum, saying that, yes, this transaction has been approved. It just shows, this isn't the first time, stuff like this is happening in the Nigerian economy. I'll draw an example. When the Nigerian SEC drew up that guideline for cryptocurrency, and then the CBN still bans banks from actually, operating in the space more or less. Again, that level of synergy is not there in the market, and it becomes a very, very significant problem for people playing in the space to actually, know what to do. Because imagine, I like to think of myself in a Seplat situation. You got the news from the presidency, something that you've been going back and forth with, and hey, you're happy. You've told, MPNU that, hey, this transaction is going ahead. We've spoken to our government, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, you're hearing, another regulatory body saying, another thing entirely, which will literally more or less derail, the conversation going forward. So it just shows that there's a deeper issue within the Nigerian government that needs to fix. There needs to be more synergy, and it shows that this government is not speaking with one voice. I have never seen a situation whereby, there's so much disarray when it comes to communicating. Of course, a transaction like this, the NUPRC should be carried along by the Minister of Finance or everybody, Minister of Finance or anybody involved in the transaction, right? Everybody involved in that space should be carried along. But it shows that the government also did not even carry along, the NUPRC. So it's a mess, honestly. It's quite disappointing that we need to do better.
Oh boy.
And yeah, look, I don't even know, because the law seems clear. The law seems clear as far as who has the powers of, consenting to this deal. But as you've said, it seems like there's some confusion, because a lot of people are even questioning whether the NUPRC had the power to do this. Because when the government sent out the tweet first, then the NUPRC put out their press statement after that. I think Benga Komalafe even appeared on television to clarify it. But people were still confused that, okay, can the NUPRC not only contradict, but supersede the presidency since he's the Minister of Petroleum? And apparently that is the case. The law says that the power to consent to this deal rests with the regulatory body per the Petroleum Industry Act. But my issue is that it just seems like there's some confusion with the government, because now, I don't know, but it looks like the president has egg on his face for not understanding the law. I don't know what you think about that.
So, like I said, it shows a deeper issue within the Nigerian government. And, laws have to be clear, and the limitation of power must be known by all stakeholders. More due diligence must be done by the NUPRC and the presidency itself. And again, this is literally the problem of when you write laws that are poorly written and very ambiguous, right? Because now you get this level of confusion. You see one set of people saying X, Z, another set saying ABC. And it all stems from the point of a law that is not clear. If the law was clear, we wouldn't be having issues like this. It's easy to refer that, hey, XYZ is responsible for this approval and ABC isn't. You understand what I'm trying to say? So because of the laws, are very, very ambiguous, we have this situation today. And it just shows that the new Petroleum Act that we're holding on to still has a lot of work to be done on, still needs to be reviewed, still needs to, let every stakeholder understand their powers, the checks and balances. All these things need to be clear to each and every stakeholder. So we need to have this information clearly stated. And when laws are being passed, consult. It shows that these stakeholders in the industries have not even been consulted, because if they were consulted on making the laws, everybody will know who to go to when regarding, this kind of transaction. But it shows that these guys were not consulted. So you begin to wonder, what is the Nigerian government doing when it comes to making laws? Are they consulting people? Are they actually speaking to stakeholders? These questions need to be answered. And like I said, it shows a very, very deep issue going on in the Nigerian government today.
Now, what does Seplat do? Because Seplat is a well-run oil and gas company, well-run energy company. It is dually listed, not only on the Nigerian exchange, but I think on the London Stock Exchange as well. So high levels of corporate governance. They've already put out this press release. And even, okay, fine, the law is the law. You're supposed to get permission from the regulator. But this thing has been dragging for 6 months, since February. So what does it say about the investment environment for oil and gas? And, I don't know, what does it say about all that, Ajibola?
You see that disgust in your face right now is literally why I wouldn't want to be in Seplat's shoes today, because this is very confusing. But for Seplat, my own candid advice is, hey, reach out to the two parties, reach out to the minister himself, reach out to the NUPRC themselves, have a dialogue, reach out to your lawyers also, try to let them make sense of the transaction, let them, outline it and let him know to you who has the power to actually approve or disapprove this transaction exactly. Let your people know this. And then when your people ultimately know this, you're able to come up with a solution to move forward. And, when speaking on the oil and gas sector, I wouldn't want to also imagine what the NPNU will be thinking. Because, hey, for one point, hey, the deal is going ahead, and then all of a sudden, bam, another party is saying that the deal is denied. It does not speak well of Nigeria, especially when it comes to the international community. That's the first one. And these type of issues is what drives foreign direct investments away from Nigeria. You would like to believe that the government would want foreign direct investment, but at the end of the day, you see that the government is more or less shooting itself in the foot with these kind of issues. So if I'm a foreign player that is trying to come into Nigeria and set up a business and say, hey, this country, I think there's a lot of potential, I think I should bring in, XYZ amount of money into this economy. And then you see laws like this. Of course, even a Nigerian will have a think of investing in Nigeria, talk less of the foreigner, right? So it's very, very difficult, and it doesn't speak well of the industry, doesn't speak well of the Nigerian government, and doesn't speak well for Nigeria when it comes to foreign investments.
All right, now we come to the end of the show, but I want to close it out on some of the messages that we've got in. So on WhatsApp, we've got this one in from Yinka Bolu, who says, I just wonder whether the folks in this government don't have like a WhatsApp group or something where they chat. I just got to hear about the NUPRC yesterday. How many of these agencies do we have? Why were they not carried along if the law stipulates that they should have been? Ideally, someone should lose his or her job this week. The same thing happened with ASU, where some people were fixing salaries without anyone from the Ministry of Finance present, resulting in students being at home until now. And this one in from Ogeno Chuko says, no clear policy directives, wrong signal to potential investors. Seplat and other investors should involve themselves in, I'm wondering if they should be involved in politics or should not be involved in politics. And very quickly, EA says, aside from the confusion we may deduce in government circles, what of Seplat? Is it that they did not read the law to know who should sign? What I can deduce is that this is big man syndrome. And that's all we've got time for. So real quick, let me tell you about the fantastic offer that you can get. By the way, if you're not following Nairametrics, make sure you do so at Nairametrics across all social media platforms. And also you can subscribe to their premium Stock Select newsletter, their SSN. It's a weekly stock guide written by Ugudre, and it's all on local and international best performing stocks. And it's in order to be able to guide, potential investors, if you're feeling like an investor, on what to buy, sell, and hold. And we here at Smooth 98.1 are offering you all our subscribers from Business Express, a 30% discount, courtesy of Nairametrics. Absolutely amazing. And so all you need to do is visit ss.nairametrics.com/coupon and enter the promo code SMOOTHFM. If you want to get this information via WhatsApp, just let me know and we'll be able to send this out to you. And that is that. Ajibola, absolutely amazing to have you on the show and give us all of the different episodes and entries and outros from this thing. And of course, Rotus, fantastic as well. I'll see you tomorrow right here, 6:30 to 6:45 every single weekday. And you can find him when he's not here up on Twitter. He's at Rotanquote, and he's also businessing elsewhere. You can find him TV, radio, wherever. Okay, that's that. Goodbye, gentlemen.